we've got a wonderful program tonight and a lot of information. And again, like I said, I want to welcome all of you, and I want to thank you for taking your time to be on the conference calls each week. You know, it's really exciting for us here at the office to make contact with you and to be able to kind of share with you and to kind of learn what you want to learn. So before we get started tonight, all of you that have given your roll call, would you put your phones on mute, please, with your *6, please? And then if you want to get off, you just put *6 and get back on. And so I'll proceed. So first of all, I'm going to do a little current event for you. How are you doing on your free trip to Disneyland? Now, I hope you're not just thinking about it when I mention it every week. I hope you're thinking about it every day, how many sales I have to do in order to go ahead and make my quota, because you can have a free trip. Mr. Knobs is your room and meals and airfare, towards airfare. If you qualify, just read over your conference guidelines and figure out where you are in your qualification. And today is the 26th of October, so that means we have 4 more days left of this month, which means we have 4 days left of the specials, which is the 2-in-1 Body Fashion Special. So I just want to make sure that you're all taking advantage of that, because it is a wonderful special, and that's why some of the girls are not on tonight, because they're out holding shows and they're really doing exceptionally well. So I hope that you all are taking advantage of these things that we offer to help you build your business. And most important, there's 4 more days of the Breast Awareness Month, and we have the Breast Beauty Cream and the Delicate Cold Water Wash on special. And again, check your focus that you had, and it'll show you how much you can save, and now's the time to purchase that. That's an outstanding opportunity for you to do so. Another thing, I hope you've all out seen the people. In other words, did you see 5 people in this last month? And as you recall, I offered the challenge of you to talk to 5 people about the business and how did they react and what did you say, and kind of get used to talking to people, because you know in life habits are formed. Well, we form habits no matter what, either good or bad, and sometimes we get some bad ones going faster than the good ones. But I think if you form the habit of getting out and talking to people about the business, averages will start working for you. So we sent you a form to fill out, one for each person, and when we get those forms back in here by Friday, October 30th, we're going to be able to have you have a skincare set absolutely free, which is probably a $60 to $70 value, which you can go out and sell and make $60 or $70 profit. So I think it's a good opportunity. So please, ladies, take advantage of that. Go out and see your people. But remember, don't send the forms if they're not. I'm using up all my minutes. Hello, can we put it on 6?
No, I don't have any other choice. Okay, well,
hello. Yes, please. *6 on mute, to mute, please. Okay, we just had a little interruption, but we're through that. Okay, so anyhow, read through your focus, get accustomed to what we're doing, but also send in your five forms, and we'd love to send out some skincare sets to you girls. All right, now let's talk about what we're going to talk about. As you recall, we sent out a letter to you, and it said on there, the subject of our conference call is, has anybody ever said this to you? And you're thinking, what? What did they say? And then what did you say to them? So we got some things tonight that we're going to be talking about. Corey and I have put together a nice little program that we think would really be of value to you. I'm going to start off, and then Corey will come on in a little bit. And, you know, I don't know if you've ever thought about it, but you never know when you are with your next recruit. Think about that. How many times Do you have a recruit that come in and you didn't even think about her being a recruit, or you never thought to ask her to be a recruit? And you never know when you're with your next recruit. There's no sign on them saying recruit me or don't recruit me. You really have to look at the people and give everybody the opportunity. But first of all, you've got to be the example. You have to be the one that maybe she'd want to do it because you look very professional. Now, whoever you recruit, remember, they usually have been with you as a client or a friend or a hostess long before you sign her up. You think about it, you are the model of what she might become. Have you ever thought about the fact, do I look professional? Do I look successful? Do I wear my makeup and have my hair done? Or do you just kind of chance it when you go to the store and you think, well, I'm not going to take time to put my makeup on to go to the store. But, that's who you are. That's who you are. When you go to the store, who knows? You could be talking to your next recruit. Now, is that the image you want to leave with your person? Or do you think you can make that up later? It's kind of hard to do that. How about flip-flops and jeans? That certainly will send a great message. Or in other words, how about the ones that, sometimes we get too involved telling about our family problems, and that they don't want to know that because that could be our next recruit. Do you really want to put yourself in that light? Really, you want everybody to look up to you. You want them to think of you as a professional, and they can look at you and say, gee, I'd like to do that. I had a lady the other day ask me, she said, when you ever go on a trip, do you ever put tennis shoes on? And do you ever go ahead and go without getting your hair done? I said, yeah, I put tennis shoes on, but getting the hair done, no, I do my hair. Because I never knew I'm going to run into. What if I run into one of my top people out there at the grocery store or something? Oh, God, what happened to you, Phyllis? And, you got to think about that. So don't get yourself caught off guard on that one. And so, therefore, I want to talk a little bit also about, have you ever spotted someone and said, she would really be great in this business? And you get ambitious. You think, oh, this is exactly the person I've been looking for. And you get very ambitious for them, and many times you want really more for them than they do for themselves. And you get pushy, and you get a little chubby, and you can't understand why they don't do better. Why can't they do it? They look like they'd be so great. I remember I had a girl one time I was working with, and oh, boy, was she a delight. I really liked her, and I just kept working with her and working with her and working with her, and I was getting worn out. And I thought, when is she ever going to get it? Well, she didn't want to get it. I figured it out. She doesn't want to get it. I had to make up my mind to move on. You know that serenity prayer, change the things you can change, accept the things you can't, but have the wisdom to know the difference. When you find somebody that you think would be great, remember, it has to be their goals. They have to want to work for them. You can't do the work for them. It's not good for them, and it certainly is not good for you. I was worn out with one of my recruits one time, and she was thinking it's a pretty easy business because I was doing all her work. Okay, most important is to find out when you talk to somebody and they show that interest, find out how many hours they want to put into their business. What's available? What do they want? What is their why to come into business? And are they committed to accomplishing them? You really have to figure that out because think about it, ladies. You're good. All of you have been in the business. You know your product, you know the business, you're excited about it, and when you get a new recruit, you don't want to go ahead if this girl's not going to make a commitment and you're going to do all of the work and she's not making the same commitment. You don't really have to beg your position. You can say to them, I need to know how many hours you plan to work, how much you want to earn, what your goals are, because I want to take my time so I can train you, and I've been in the business a while, and I really have the information needed. So I really feel that I need to know how much commitment you're going to make towards your business. Now, you laying it right on the line, but sometimes that's what you have to do. So see the success in that new person, but also if she doesn't see it, it's not going to be there because, you have to help yourself before others can help you. You can guide them. But really, ladies, don't push them. Let them want it because when they want it, they'll do it. Now, at this point, I've got some other things that I'm going to be sharing with you, but I'm going to turn this over to Corey now. And I'm going to let Corey take it because she's got some wonderful things to share